Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are from Group 4 and we will present our material about the topic of analysis in simultaneous interpreting. But before we start our presentation, let us introduce our group member first. Our group consists of two members, and that is me, Taufik Hidayat, and Farel Al-Khairi. Okay, we begin to the first presentation, which will be delivered by Farel. To Farel Akhiri, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Topik. I will start about what is simultaneous interpreting. Simultaneous interpreting involves an interpreter who listens to a speaker in one language and immediately translates their message into another language, typically with minimal delay. This method enables communication in multilingual scenarios such as conference, international meetings, or live broadcast without disrupting the speaker. Simultaneous interpreters often operate from soundproof booth and rely in specialized equipment, such as headphone and microphone, to ensure precise and efficient interpretation. The purpose of simultaneous interpreting is to facilitate effective communication between individual or group who speak different languages in real time. It allows people from diverse linguistic background to understand and interact with one another during events like conference, international meeting, and live broadcast without any pause or interruption. Simultaneous interpreting ensure that language barrier do not hinder the exchange information, ideas, and discussion, promoting smoother and more productive communication on a global scale. And the next is the importance of analysis in simultaneous interpreting. Analysis plays a crucial role in simultaneous interpreting for reasons. One is comprehension. Interpreter must strictly understand the source language content to accurately convey it in the target language. Analysis helps them grasp the speaker's message, including complex ideas, terminology, and nuances. Number two, this is context. Analyzing the context of the speech is essential for interpreter. They need to consider the subject matter, cultural reference, and any background information to provide a more accurate interpretation. Number three is terminology. Specialized terminology often appears in speech, especially in fields like medicine or law. Analyzing and researching specific terminology beforehand enable interpreter to provide precise translation. Number four, cultural sensitivity. Understanding the cultural context of both the source and target language is vital to avoid misunderstanding or cultural insensitivity. Analysis help interpreter navigate this difference. And the next is analysis in simultaneous interpreting. There is three different types of analysis used or involved in simultaneous interpreting activity. This is a contextual analysis, linguistic analysis, and cultural analysis. And the number four is, and the next is contextual analysis. Interpreter analyze both the immediate and broader context to provide accurate interpretation. And the immediate context. Speaker words. Interpreter closely listen to the speaker words, paying attention to vocabulary, tone, and any significant emphasis. This immediate linguistic context helps them understand the speaker message. And the nonverbal cues, observing the speaker body language, facial expression, and gesture can provide additional context. These nonverbal cues convey emotion, intention, and emphasis that may not be evident in the words alone. Immediate audience reaction. Interpreted monitor the reaction of the audience, as this can indicate the impact of the speakers word and help in understanding the context. And the next is broader context. Subject matter. Interpreter need to be familiar with the subject matter of the speech or conversation. This prior knowledge allows them to anticipate terminology and concept, ensuring a smoother interpretation. Cultural analysis. Understanding the cultural context of the both the source and target language is a crucial. This include recognizing cultural references, idiomatic expression, and social norms that might affect interpretation, and the background information. Sometimes interpreters are provided with background information about the event or participant. This context helps them prepare for specific topics or themes that may arise during the interpretation. The historical and political context. In international settings, knowledge of historical and political events can be vital. It helps interpreter grasp the underlying motivation and implication of the statement made during discussion.
Okay, next, I will explain about linguistic analysis in simultaneous interpreting. Linguistic analysis in simultaneous interpreting involves a deep examination of the source languages, the languages spoken by the speaker, to provide an accurate and a coherent interpretation in the target languages, the languages of the audience. There is a lot of key aspects in this analysis and vocabulary. Grammar, idioms, expression, cultural nuances are some of them. Linguistic analysis in simultaneous interpreting is a dynamic and a rapid process, requiring interpreters to process information quickly and make informed linguistic decisions on the spot. It is a skill that combines languages proficiency, cultural awareness, and the ability to adapt to a various linguistic challenge while maintaining accuracy and fluency in both languages. Right. Okay, next, I will explain about the cultural analysis in simultaneous interpreting. Cultural analysis is the process of considering and understanding the cultural context of both the source and target languages to provide accurate and culturally sensitive interpretation. Some of the key aspects in this analysis is cultural reference, idioms, historical, and political context. Cultural reference. Cultural reference refers to the interpreter's ability to recognize a cultural reference made by the speaker, such as historical events, tradition, or figures. Understanding this reference helps in conveying the speaker's intended message effectively. Different cultures have unique idiomatic expression and colloquialism. Interpreters need to identify this and find suitable equivalents in the target languages to ensure comprehension. And the third is historical and political context. Understanding the historical and political context of the source languages can be crucial in international settings. It helps interpreters grasp the underlying motivation and implication of statements made during discussion. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is the video of example of simultaneous interpreting that we will analyze.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Senja Pusparahayu from A3 class 2018. Today, I would like to share you about how to interpret simultaneous interpreting.
Menteri Pendidikan dan Kebudayaan Nadiem Anwar Makarim merilis pidato ucapan peringatan Hari Kesaktian Pancasila. Dalam video yang diunggah di kanal YouTube Kemendikbud, Nadiem berharap lilin Pancasila dapat terus menyala dalam diri tiap masyarakat Indonesia, terlebih dalam situasi pandemi COVID yang tengah dihadapi saat ini.
Ini kita merayakan Hari Kesaktian Pancasila. Di hari ini, kita sebagai bangsa diberikan kesempatan untuk melakukan refleksi diri. Kita mengenal Pancasila sebagai falsafah negara kita, ideologi bangsa kita. Kita mengenal Pancasila sebagai akar yang menyambung masa lalu dan masa depan kita bersama. Tapi apa arti Pancasila bagi kita dalam kehidupan sehari-hari? Apa makna dari sila-sila Pancasila bagi seorang pemimpin, seorang pekerja, seorang guru, seorang ibu, dan seorang anak? Di masa seperti sekarang, mungkin terasa sulit membayangkan sisi positif dari bencana yang melanda. Karena pandemi ini, kita secara bersamaan mengalami krisis kesehatan, krisis ekonomi, dan krisis pembelajaran. Tetapi, di saat sulit seperti ini, sila-sila Pancasila justru terlihat jelas mendarah daging di masyarakat kita. Pada hari ini, kita mengingat sejarah kita dan betapa besar pengorbanan nenek moyang kita untuk bangsa ini. Dan kalau kita melihat dengan seksama, kita bisa menyadari bahwa kesaktian Pancasila terus mendarah daging di generasi kita. Di masa krisis seperti ini, lilin-lilin Pancasila menerangi kegelapan di mana-mana. Pandemi ini menantang negara kita dan menguji ketangguhan kita sebagai rakyat Indonesia. Pancasila sebagai pusaka negara Indonesia harus menyala di hati kita masing-masing dalam setiap perbuatan kecil dan besar yang bisa kita lakukan bagi sesama. Selamat Hari Kesaktian Pancasila.
That's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, we will give our opinion about the video, and the first will be started by me. So overall, she could interpret the languages, the source languages from Nadiem Makarim completely without missing any words. I think that is because she already did a good analysis of the context and the topic of the things that she want to interpret. So that's why she can interpret smoothly. There is no missing words at all, and she did good to keep the same speed of talking with Pak Nadiem Makarim, and I think that is very wonderful. But for the intonation, I think she is a little bit lacking of intonation. She making the same voice intonation and doesn't have any emotion in it at all. Okay, I think that's my opinion of the video. The next will be delivered by Farel.
Okay, thank you, Taufik. I have a specific question with you, Sam, with you. I think the presentation, the performance from the C is good. The fluency is good, and the vocabulary is good. But in intonation, she doesn't act the more the expression language and like a body language and other. I think that's all from me.
Okay. I think that's all our opinion about the example of simultaneous interpreting video. Okay, I think that's all our presentation today about the analysis process in simultaneous interpreting. So in summary, analysis is essential in simultaneous interpreting to ensure accuracy, coherence, and cultural sensitivity while working within the constraints of real-time communication. It enables interpreters to bridge languages gaps effectively and facilitate meaningful communication between individual who speak different languages. Okay, that will be the end of our presentation today from Group 4 about analysis in simultaneous interpreting. Thank you very much for the attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.